Welcome to another episode of our YouTube channel. This week we have received many requests and questions from clients with regards to CPF contribution and withdrawal. Now, at the National Day rally, it was announced that retirement age will be increased. At the same time, standard contribution to CPF will also be increased till the age of 60. But CPF withdrawal age will still maintain at 55 years old. Now, what does this mean for all of us? So thus, we have come to this episode and we entitled this as CPF Usage for Property. Now, what we're going to do in this episode is to allay the concerns that most clients have with regards to CPF usage, namely how much CPF can we use? What happens when we turn 55? And the big question of it all, do I use more CPF or more cash for my loans? Well, the following information is taken from CPF website and is accurate as of this recording. Basically, there are four main users. You can pay for the purchase price of your property. You can pay the housing loan in full or in part. You can pay construction loan and installments taken for it in full or in part. And finally, stamp duties, legal fees, survey fees, and anything that's related to the purchase of the property, refinancing, or construction. So let's deal with the main concern here. How much CPF can we really use for the purchase of our property and the repayment of our loans? Now, the key condition here is that the lease remaining in the property must be able to cover the youngest buyer till he's 95 years old. With this met, you can use your entire ordinary account for the purchase and repayment of your loans. Now, what happens if this condition is not met? Well, there's a certain percentage of how much CPF you can use up to the valuation limit of the property. Now, for very accurate calculations, we would strongly advise you to go to the CPF website and use their calculator. You can find it under Tools, under CPF Housing Usage Calculator. By keying in the requirements and the parameters, it will give you a very specific amount of how much CPF you can utilize. So what happens when we turn 55? Now, the ordinary account and the special account will be transferred into an account called retirement account. We are supposed to maintain a full retirement sum, and this has to be set aside. However, those of us with property using CPF for purchase or repayment, we only need to set aside 50% of this amount. This amount changes from year to year, and I've given illustrations for these 3 years, 2018, 2019 and 2020. So what happened? The full retirement sum for these 3 years are stated below: 171,000, 176,000, 181,000. Now, if we have properties that use CPF for purchase or repayment of loan, then we only need to maintain 50% of it when we turn 55. And the numbers are listed in the table below, which means anything beyond this can be withdrawn. The most common questions we get from clients is this: do we use more CPF or cash for the repayment of our property? Now, there's an accrued interest of 2.5%. Your CPF either gets this 2.5% from the CPF board or you pay yourself. Now, most clients think that it goes to our own account anyway, so what's the difference? Well, on a long-term note, the accrued interest that you pay yourself actually comes from the capital appreciation of your property. Therefore, when the loan interest rate is below 2.5% and you want to repay part of your loan or pay off the entire loan, I'll tell my clients use cash. But if it is above 2.5%, then you can use more CPF. So why keep more CPF in the account? Well, besides the 2.5 interest that you will earn, I tell my clients keep it for rainy days. You never know when you want to take a break from your work or you're being restructured out of your job. Now, without any income, your CPF can last you for a few years. Then that will take your stress away from your loan repayment. So what do we do with all the CPF in the account? Usually, I will advise my clients to do a lump sum repayment before they turn 55, so that it will not be kept there and locked in after that. Well, there are always queries about CPF, and it's not easy to understand because of the policy changes, and it doesn't help that the website is not very intuitive at times. So if you have more questions about CPF, withdrawal, repayment, all these questions, do direct to us. You see our number here and email address. Till next time, see you.